Welcome to May 13th live stream. See that we got at least 3 or 4 people in the live stream so far. And bear with me 1 second while I adjust some stuff. And I think we're good. Almost. Here we go. Here we go. Am I coming in loud and clear for you guys? I hope. I hope. Okay, so far so good. Okay. Expand on that. Don't need that one. Okay. So we got here. Just want to make sure we got everything going. Hey, Night Strixx, thanks for coming by, man. Still at work? So far I got 5 people watching. That's pretty good. Let's get this thing rolling, I suppose. Okay, up on our first story today. Car theft in Detroit falls after a local tow company is banned from the police's approved vendor database, I guess is what you would say. Here's the latest story. Police statistics reveal that auto thefts in the city of Detroit have declined significantly in the past 2 years, and according to law enforcement officials, this is because of a ban of a company from the towing rotation. The Detroit News reports that from January to March 2017, there were 19,087 auto thefts across the city. From January to March 2019, there were just 13,079 auto thefts after Nationwide Recovery Inc. was suspended from police towing rotation in July of 2017. Detroit filed a lawsuit against Nationwide in 2017, alleging that the company was running a stolen vehicle ring, but the complaint was dismissed by the presiding judge 3 months ago. Nevertheless, officials appear confident that the banning nationwide is the reason behind the 31% reduction in auto theft. DPD understands that correlation does not necessarily equate to causation. Detroit Deputy Corporate Counsel Chuck Ramani said. But since Nationwide's activities were shut down, DPD has noticed a measurable reduction in auto theft. We haven't done anything different other than get rid of a certain tow companies and taken over towing, and then magically our car theft have gone way down, Detroit Police Chief James Craig added. I can't think of any other explanation why they'd go down. Makes a good point to me. Evidence was introduced in the Nationwide case showing that at least one now former employee of Nationwide had, for months in 2017, been exchanging text messages, communications with known car thief. Judge Colombo determined that this former employee is paying car thieves for the location of stolen vehicles. Judge Colombo stated that evidence supplied by the city of Detroit showed that the owners of Nationwide Recovery and the employees received tips from CarThifts about where to pick up stolen vehicles, but said the city had failed to prove that Nationwide conspired with the CarThifts. So my take on that. So basically, how theft rings work, they'll steal a vehicle, and obviously they're not going to bring the vehicle right back to their, quote, chop shops, because of the advent of LoJack or OnStar or other vehicle tracking systems. Generally what they'll do is they'll steal a vehicle, park it somewhere nearby where the chop shops are at, and wait till that the signal or the vehicle isn't picked up on the police signals. Basically, most metropolitan police departments will have some vehicles equipped with transmitters that will receive the signals from these devices, and that'll lead them to where these chop shops are at. So it makes sense for the thieves to leave the vehicles wherever, or in some instances where they will disable these systems. They've gotten good to where they can disable the systems, strip the cars to what they need, then they need to deal with getting rid of the vehicles. So hence it makes sense where they would say, okay, we dump the car off somewhere and then call a tow company to pick them up, and then the tow company will gets tipped off. They pick it up, they tow it back to their yard, and rack up fees for the insurance company to pay for a stolen vehicle, basically, and either tow it to a body shop, which won't happen. They'll most likely go off to the insurance auction where it'll be whatever. So that's my take on it. It makes sense. If you get rid of the part of the problem, great. Maybe that might be a good thing for city municipalities to start creating more jobs. Is to for these type of tow situations for stolen property, such as keep it in house, so to speak. Leave your comments down below. What do you think about that idea? I'd like to hear more discussion on that. Next up on our story that we've got is no volume. Shoot. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Let me put in the chat. Can you guys hear me? Hey, MINIac, thanks for the thumbs up. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Looks like my mic wise is saying is okay. I don't want to have to yep, looks like I'm the broadcasting wise I can hear it on my end, hopefully. So good. Okay, I'll listen to the replay too. Hopefully it's oh, cool, loud and clear. Alrighty, let's move on to the next article. New Corvette C8 rendering is one that most daring yet. The official, obviously, debut of the new Chevrolet Corvette C8 is still about 2 months away, and this particular rendering was done, I guess you could say, freehand, so to speak, not taken from spy photos, camouflage spy photos that we've seen so far on mainstream media news lately. But let's go down to the picture. I'll bring it up here if you guys can see this. Basically the artist took liberties and added, like, obviously a front splitter with canards, side skirts, and you kind of see blurred out on the rear wing. but this is obviously his take on what it may look like. And yeah, I kind of going to see the GM actually kind of going with this design, kind of what I've seen from the prototypes. So kind of indicates that obviously it's a mid-engine first for the Corvette in the rear, and obviously the rear intakes near behind the doors for air, as possibly also radiator cooling is what I'm guessing at, as well as massive openings in the front and sides on this deck. Obviously this is an artist rendering. Who knows for sure how the car is actually going to look and function wise. We'll just have to wait and see, but I could definitely see GM doing something like this. I would see how there's like a split in the line here in the middle. I could see that the hood not having like a front trunk of some sort for storage, obviously, in there. So it's something different, but it's something worth looking at. So let's close this out here. All links to these articles will be in the description down below if you want to check them out and read them. Okay, let's move on to the next story. Porsche's GT division planning a Cayenne Coupe with the Lamborghini Urus engine. Porsche might have found a use for their GT5 name that it trademarked back in 2015. After reading this article, it's actually interesting to find out that the Porsche GT division were the guys who came up with the twin-turbo V8 that's in the Lamborghini Urus currently. So it should be interesting. So it's been rumored that the GT division is supposedly going to work on a street legal lighter version of the Cayenne Coupe to go up against for their lineup on the SUVs. But we'll go there. Just pull up some latest rendering pictures that they have on the Cayenne. Obviously, this is the 4-door version, so I wonder what a 2-door version would look like. Okay, this one you might like, MINIac. Next story come up, hopefully. Group E5's 2002 is a street legal race ready BMW 2002 with a 803 horsepower V8 or V10, I should say. So essentially they're planning on offering two versions, a heavily modified high horsepower, the 803 horsepower V10 built by Steve Dynan of Carbon Auto Works, and lesser version which would be 5.8 liter and a 5.9 liter, but one of the higher horsepower version would need to be, the engine would need to be torn down every 60 hours of operation. Personally, that sounds like that can be very expensive after a while. And with the current price tag that they're asking for these two versions, who knows? Pretty much the only thing that they ask is a donor car numbers, triple numbers matching numbers car. And the only thing that gets used is the rear tubs, from what I've been told in this article. So it should be interesting. But where was the price tag that they says? Yeah. The junior model will cost $875,000 before options. The 803 horsepower beast will go for $975,000. The firm plans to build the first prototype after Le Mans. Interesting. People here watching. Yay. Now it's time for our favorite aspect of it, channel shoutouts. And one of our actually chat guests, his name is Zach, and this is his channel, the MINIac. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Zach. Yeah, exactly. Zach, that's definitely so true. So currently, Zach looks like he has about 2,093 subscribers. Not bad, Zach. Way to go. Um, and you're a brand ambassador, from what I remember reading, for your local dealership, I believe. And actually, I think I'm going to be wanting to possibly talk with you and pick your brains on minis, since you probably know more about the minis as far as what years are good to get, because I've been eyeballing minis left and right on the Copart insurance auctions, and been eyeballing the idea of picking one up for a channel project car that I can get up and running and possibly flip for to help support my channel. So if you're up for that, just let me know, and I'll be in touch on that aspect. So let's read about his about section. Yeah, exactly, Zach. I've been seeing them from the NA versions to the supercharged Cooper S's, both turbo and supercharged. You know, going on auctions. It's just a matter of finding the right one. But I wanted to pick your brains. I've heard things, you know, that some things are bad, other things are not. You know, like transmission issues, how well they should be serviced. To, I've heard if the front end takes a little slight bump on a curb or something, that it can crack the radiator support, front radiator support, real easy. I figured I'd pick your brains on that stuff. Here's his video description in his about section. I'm sharing my love of all things minis with the rest of the world. It started slowly, but the channel keeps growing and gaining momentum, and it's thanks to viewers and subscribers like yourself. If you are much of a mini maniac as I am, this is the channel for you. Yep. I will showcase news and new mini models from time to time on this channel, as well as share my views and insights into the mini brand. You'll also get frequent updates on my John Cooper Works Clubman, as it just passed 80,000 miles and would thus be considered a high mileage JCW. How well do they age? You'll find out soon. Okay. I have a few surprises in store as well, so keep coming back and watching. If you have anything you want to say, feel free to leave a comment. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you love the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I upload videos every Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, with occasional Monday or mid-week video. Not bad, man. Not bad. So anybody in the chat or in the replays, be sure to check out Zach's channel. Links to his channel will be in the video descriptions down below. So be sure to check out his channel. And if you guys want to actually see possibly a one-on-one live stream interview with Zach, also leave that comment down below that you want me to bring him on, and I can schedule a live stream with him, find out more about him and his channel. So if you're up for that, Zach, maybe we can make something work out for you. You know, get you onto the live stream for a one-on-one interview about you and your channel. Cool. Next up, if you recently were seeing last week, I had a live stream last week with one of my good buddies. Let's see if I got this. Let me see. One of my good buddies, Jason Dubler. And he is from Jason's Garage. But he's also part of a weekly podcast of a show called The Camaro Show. And surprise, surprise, I got mentioned in this week's podcast, episode number 215. Links to this show here. Obviously, here's some of the show notes. He mentions that he made an appearance. He even's got a link. So I figured I'd do him a solid and return the favor to Jason and Chris of the Camaro Show. Like I said, good listen. It's a good 20-minute podcast. So I suggest you go check them out. Links to this page will be in the live stream, so be sure to check it out. And also, if you see in the ticker tape down below scrolling, there is a link to St. Baldrick's charity, that fundraiser that Jason is doing for the children's cancer research. Unlike regular normal cancers, children's cancers are really rare and difficult, and they really need the funding that they need. So I will be actually, after this podcast, we'll be making a donation to, under Jason's here on this page here. That the link will also be in the video description, but this is here right now. He has a goal of $500, and right now we're at $50. Definitely we can do better than that. I want to get awareness to this. If you can, whatever you can. If you can spare $1, $5, $10, whatever you can afford, it's for a good cause. As I mentioned in the last week's live stream with Jason, that I read up on this particular charity, and about 70 to 75% of the funds generated from fundraisers goes to actual research, and about 20 to 24% goes to 20% to efforts to running the fundraisers, paying for this website, bandwidth, setting up all these new accounts, that type of stuff. And about 4% of it is actually administrative costs. So it's a charity that's actually putting towards the actual research and less so on the administrative costs. It's not like how some charities I've seen where 90% of it goes to administrative costs and 10% goes to research. So it looks like most of the earmarking of the funds generated goes into the research. Normally, in my own personal belief, when I'm doing these one of these type charities, I rather donate to a local hospital charity research fund where I know where my funds are going locally and helping people. But this here, they're pretty much straightforward in their documentation and FAQs about where the funds are earmarked for. I'm confident to recommend this charity to them, and like I said, I'm planning on making a donation myself today after this stream. So if you check back here, you'll see a nice little increment past 50 today. So I wish I could give more, but it's whatever I can give, I can give. So that's something to think about on that aspect. Next up I'm going to talk to is a good buddy of mine. He's been taking a little break from streaming. This is Strixx. Hopefully we'll see his channel pop up shortly. Here we go. Currently, he actually broke 1,074 subscribers, according to what his YouTube page is saying. But both he and I know that that's not completely set in stone quite yet, because YouTube, their numbers fluctuate left and right, and Strixx has been there before, where he's seen gains and then he's quickly lost those gains as well, anywhere from like 35 to 45 subs gained and then quickly lost the next day. But steadily it's been growing for him, so I want to say congratulations to him. And if you're not subscribed to him, he's definitely worth checking out on some of his past live streams. But it looks like lately he's been uploading some regular fun joking content lately, which is still good, but because his live streams kind of get to pretty long, and he works like second or third shift. So right now he's at work. He may not be home till about 11 or 12 tonight, Central Standard Time. So he's probably still at work right now. Whatnot. And next person I want to give out a shout out to is Peck, DrywallTube. Paul's a good friend and supporter of the channel, so I wanted to give him a shout out. He's standing at 52,217 subscribers. So if you're ever doing a DIY how-to project, repair involving drywall, Paul's your man. He most likely has a video or tutorial on how to accomplish that task. And if I had any drywall repairs, whatnots, I'd probably be on watching more of his channels. But that may change if I ever get around to building my container home. Yes, I'm looking at eventually getting out of this place and into picking up some land and building my own like shipping container home. And I could see definitely using what I learned and some of his techniques to help accomplish that. So definitely give Paul a shout out. Links to his channel, like I said, to all these channels will be in the video description. And be sure to check them all out. So pretty much that will be a wrap up for the stream. I want to say thank you for all those who came in, and let's read who came in today. Jeremy, thank you. Matt and Eric, thank you for coming in. Another great supporters. Strixx was in here briefly. Let's see, Zach, the MINIac was in here. Definitely, and obviously I know Strixx, he was here. Paul probably wasn't aware, but it is what it is. But yeah, be sure to check out all of the links and stories, descriptions, if you want full details of the descriptions. And I'll also put it out there, if you know of an automotive channel, primarily since I'm an automotive channel, if you know of another automotive channel that you'd like to see featured on here, list them down below in the comments so I can check out their channels. I'd like to hear about these other channels that you follow that you think deserves a shout out and a little recognition, because getting noticed on YouTube these days, it's like a needle in a haystack, so to speak, if you want to use an analogy. So yeah, definitely open to your suggestions and what type of stories or content you also would like to see, so I can bring what you guys want to see in here. If you guys like, I could probably do partial of the streams right now, what's coming up on the insurance auctions coming up for this week. So give me 1 second, let me pull that up. Okay, let's see. Auction calendar. So my local yard, tomorrow's auction for tomorrow. Let's see what we've got for cars happening tomorrow. If Zach, you're still in here, I can show you, like, see if I got any minis I can show up. Hey, we do have 5 minis coming up on auction tomorrow. So I figured this might be of something of interest to you. Let's take a look at the first one. Let's take a look. Ouch! That one's banged up for a 2011. No airbags deployed. That's a good sign. Okay. So definitely stay away from this one right here that I got pictured up here right now, huh? Door damage too. Eek. Hey Ian, thanks for joining us. Let's see what else we got coming up on the auction tomorrow. Yeah, let's see. The next closest would be a 2011 Zach. So this one doesn't frame damage. They're saying this one has frame damage. Eek. Let's take a look at this one. Airbag deployed. Yeah, except airbag was deployed, so I wonder if seatbelts would have to be reset and the new airbag module would have to be replaced. Yeah, that's definitely just looks like here, like the front impacted. Just obviously, if the front got impacted, just means that the airbag deployed. All depends on how the gaps look for how they shut, and they seem like they're shutting pretty good, but I could be wrong. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna watch this one tomorrow, see what it goes for tomorrow on the auction. Yeah, unfortunately, most of these cars are gonna have some type of issues. You know, if they're at the insurance auction, that's gonna happen. But that first one, the wrecked one that I showed earlier, that first 2011, this one right here, they have it right now at a buy it now price of $1,800 US if I wanted to buy it right now. So if I had a parts car, if this thing was salvageable, rebuildable, it'd be transfer parts, obviously a new hood, frame support, and whatever broken bracketry and coolers. Yeah, exactly. And it only looks like it has it suggests a retail value of 9,100. So it just all depends on how much you're willing to spend on it. But they're saying it's not automatic, but it looks like it's manual. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, my only concern is like here, looking at that front radiator support, how if it needs any time on the frame to be pulled out. I know most of the time the front radiator supports are plastic and they just bolt on there, so that's the question that I need to find out how well it, if that makes sense. What it basically boils down to is what I would have to do is on the next couple auctions, the next couple of weeks when they get some more in, actually physically going to the yard and physically inspecting them and doing a walk around. So that might make for some good video. Okay. So that's something to keep a look at and see what happens. And here's one that they're saying is mechanical, so runs and drives mechanical. Let's see. I'm actually a little bit of quarter panel damage down here, so it got bumped a little bit, or something popped into it. Yep. And they have it at buy it now for $2,000 or make an offer. Gee, I wonder if they'll take $200 for it. But they also have a minimum bid, so that's a list to watch. And gee, it'll only be $176 to have it towed to my house. Nice. Perfect, man. That's perfect. And obviously these are just here at my local auction. We can also see what other minis are a little further out in the calendar. Let's see. We got one in Sacramento tomorrow that's happening. Let's see what minis they have happening there. If they have any in Sacramento. Ooh, 8 minis. Let's take a look there. And ooh, got some newer ones. This should be fun. Okay, 2016 Mini. Not looking pretty. Ouch. Poor car. No airbags, so that blows me away. Only 62,000. Not too bad on the miles. Okay, like you said, front bonnet. Looks like maybe a side skirt. Don't know if the frame is too tweaked out or if it needs to be pulled out a little bit. Yep. So that one's obviously bidding. And obviously they want $550 plus for towing to tow it there. Put that on the watch list for tomorrow and see what she goes for. That'll be interesting. Let's see what we got. Next we have is another 2015. Ouch. Oh, yeah, I think I'll pass on this one. Yeesh. Is this fixable? Nope. If anything, it's just a donor car. And they have a buy it now price of $3,700 US. No, thank you. Let's see what next we've got. 2013. Another front end damage one, obviously. Cooper S. Airbag deployed. Bummer. Not bad for the interior. Eesh. So looking at AC condenser, maybe oil cooler, bonnet, radiator support, or yeah, radiator support, front bumper support. Obviously, frame has probably have to be pulled out a little bit if need be. This one here. Here's another one. Not as bad as the others. Okay, bonnet doesn't look too bad. Back end looks okay. Airbags didn't deploy. That's a good plus sign. Ooh, this looks like a promising little endeavor. Mileage ain't too bad. And this is actually kind of catching my eye. They're telling me it's a pure sale. So meaning whatever the winning bid is, gets it. So put that up on the... So what do you think on this one, Zach? 2011 Cooper S Clubman. Hey, Hannah. Thanks for joining me on my live stream. Right now we're just going through some insurance auctions of what are coming up for auction tomorrow on Mini Coopers. Or if you have a particular car that you'd like to see going for insurance auctions, put them in the chat and we'll look them up for you. So we can look at the carnage of wrecked cars. But this one may be of interest to see how it what it goes for tomorrow. There's one that has a buy it now price. Let's see what's up with this one. Don't like the fact that they have the tow bar still hooked up to it, and yet they don't say it runs and drives, so who knows what's wrong with it. Okay, some real carnage next on this next one. Ow. That'll buff out, right, Zach? Ouch. Yeah, I don't think that guy survived. Oh, that is just bad. Oh. Yeah. Not good. Yeah. Well, pretty much ends it for the live stream for today. I'd like to thank everyone for joining in. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please consider doing so. Be sure to check out all of the channels I mentioned in today's shoutouts. Links to their channels will be in the video descriptions. And leave some comments down below what you thought about the stories or suggestions. I'm open to suggestions, how I can improve this live stream and whatnot. So, and also be sure to definitely visit the St. Baldrick's Children's Foundation for make a donation. So I'm planning on doing that shortly after this stream ends, and I hope that you can do the same. So, all right, thank you, and see you next time. Come on, should be ending this shortly. Bye, everyone.